What is up, guys? Lincoln here, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Dread Captures. I believe this video will be dropping a few days after Father's Day, but happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I know I had a great day. I hope you guys did as well. Please stick around if you are interested in crazy camera captures, paranormal investigations, any type of crazy stuff caught on camera. I think you'll enjoy it. As always, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the comments. Okay, so this first clip is nuts. I hope it doesn't get taken down. I'm gonna play it twice. Do me a favor, in the comments, let me know at what second mark you saw what was going on in this video. It took me the entire time. I had to watch it twice. Anyway, here it is. Nuts. So like I said in the intro, this took me forever. I couldn't tell what was going on. I actually thought it was something worse. I thought like this mother had accidentally slept on her baby and had hurt it. I was just like, what kind of video is this? But then once I watched it again, I saw what's in the background to the left. Yeah, just absolutely unreal. I mean, and it's really crazy to think that just by her changing positions, she likely or possibly saved her or her child's life. And I want to highlight these two comments. One describing why they weren't in danger at all, and the other why they were in grave danger. Anyhow, super glad they're okay. Comment down how quickly you saw this. Let me know. I'm embarrassed that it took me, I had to watch the full video twice. A Reddit user shared a rather unusual video capturing the attention of many. The video, taken from a Ring doorbell camera, seems to show a somewhat transparent figure leisurely walking across the front yard of their friend's grandparents' home. Now, the sight, well, as one might imagine, stirred up a flurry of conversations and debates. For most of us, when you see something out of the ordinary, especially when it involves potential supernatural phenomena, opinions will naturally vary. And this video, well, it's no exception. Many Reddit users dive deep into discussions trying to decode the possible reasons behind the figure's peculiar presence. Is this something that's otherworldly? Some type of sinister entity? Or a technical hiccup? Who knows? The grandmother, having seen the video, is steadfast in her belief though. She's convinced that what they captured on camera is a ghost. And, as you can tell, her conviction is unwavering, and she's certain that there's something supernatural at play, and her mind is made up. On the other hand, the individual who posted the video isn't as convinced. She believes that it might simply be a person, albeit at an odd hour, 2 a.m. to be precise, walking through their yard. And while she may not be sure about the ghostly angle, she does acknowledge that the idea of a stranger strolling around one's property in the dead of night is unsettling in its own right. So she sees where her grandmother's coming from. But like any good mystery, there were more perspectives to be heard. Skeptics quickly joined the conversation, sharing their own theories and insights. One of the most frequently mentioned explanations from this group was that the ghost might just be a result of a camera glitch. Perhaps the camera malfunctioned or there was an issue with the footage playback. To me, it sounds like the comment section is grasping for straws. Let's tie a bow in this for all of them in our comments. Let me know what you think. Alright, have you ever seen a creepy video online and instantly thought, that's a demon? Well, that's what happened to one guy recently. He caught some footage on his wall that seriously looks like something out of a nightmare. I legit cannot make out what this could be. The creature has dark fur, sharp teeth, and kinda pointy ears. I don't see any real horns like the classic devil or demon pictures, but still enough to make your skin crawl.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum.
I mean, you can hear the guy filming in the background. He's pretty freaked out, and I can't really blame him. Now, the big question, is it real? Some people in the comments are saying that this is definitely a 100% fake. They're saying it looks too costume-like, that the real devil or a demon would be more aggressive. Anyhow, this thing is creepy. I'm not sure what to think. I'd love to discuss it in the comments. Let me know. In a heartbreaking event back in 2015, a young 25-year-old woman named Lynn Grossberg tragically lost her life. She was driving when her car collided with a concrete barrier at the tail end of a bridge. This incident took place near the crossroads of Arrowhead Trail and Main Street in Spanish Fork, Utah. The impact was so forceful that it caused her vehicle to careen off the road, ending up in the Spanish Fork River. Now, due to the position of the car in the water, it was nearly impossible for anyone passing by to spot the wreckage. And ultimately, Lynn didn't survive the crash. The car had flipped over in the water, sealing her fate. However, against all odds, her 18-month-old daughter Lily managed to stay alive. She was strapped in her car seat, which, distressingly, had turned upside down, leaving her just above the chilling waters of the river. About 14 hours after the accident, a fisherman, likely expecting a regular day, stumbled upon the shocking sight and promptly alerted the police. What's even more eerie is the account of the first responders. When they got to the scene, they claimed to have heard a mysterious voice calling for help from within the submerged vehicle. Reflecting on this haunting memory, police officer Tyler Badeau recounted, quote, "In my mind, in my heart at that time, I thought, I don't know what's calling out to us. There's nobody else around. But it definitely was not that baby." When they finally reached the car, they found little Lily in the back seat, her position just barely keeping her above the rushing cold water. In the process of rescuing her, something awful happened. The car shifted, causing Lily to be submerged for a nerve-wracking 3 to 4 minutes. Everyone on the scene went into full-blown panic mode. They knew what was at stake. They finally got the car up and were astounded that 19-month-old Lily managed to pull through this event. She had been submerged underwater for 3 to 4 minutes. Let me just paint a picture for you really quickly. This water is so cold. This water is freezing, so cold to the point where several brave police officers and firefighters who had jumped into the river in their heroic rescue attempt needed treatment for hypothermia at a nearby hospital. And little Lily pulled through this. It's a tale that not only speaks to the tragedy of loss, but also the resilience of the human spirit and the small miracles that sometimes emerge from the direst of circumstances. I think that this is, it gives me chills thinking about it. I think this is one of the most phenomenal stories I've ever heard. I had never heard it. For that little baby to survive that is unbelievable in those conditions when grown men in the proper gear were treated for hypothermia is nuts. I mean, I know kids are freaking resilient, man. They are so tough. But anyhow, and then for Lily, the baby, to have been submerged for a couple minutes and survive. Unbelievable. It's an absolute miracle of God. And what about the other part? The human voice saying, "Help me." I mean, obviously that wasn't the baby. Was that the mother from, the other world? A few of the guys heard it. It's not just something one guy heard. It's just incredible, man. That story, I had never heard it before. I hope you guys liked it. And I hope Lily is living an awesome life, and may her mother rest in peace. In a video clip shared on TikTok by a user, we see something quite intriguing. Though the clip is short, it holds a mysterious aura that's hard to ignore. The video looks like it was taken from a security camera stationed inside a furniture store. For the most part, the footage seems ordinary, just showcasing aisles of furniture. However, as you watch, something unexpected happens. Two chairs, seemingly minding their own business, start rocking back and forth, moving as if an invisible hand or force is pushing them. What makes this event even more puzzling is the timestamp displayed in the bottom corner of the video. The footage was recorded just past 3 a.m., a time when no customers or staff would likely be around. The video clip appears to be in fast forward, condensing several minutes into a shorter span. This might amplify the rocking motion of the chairs, making the movement more pronounced for the viewers. But speeding up the video doesn't answer all the questions, especially the burning one on everyone's mind. Why did those chairs start moving in the first place? So, what's really going on in this furniture store? Could it be housing a mischievous poltergeist that loves to play with furniture when everyone's away? Or is there a more logical, down-to-earth explanation waiting to be discovered? An undetected draft? Someone else in the comments said maybe the store's foundation isn't stable. Yeah, I don't think that one's it, buddy. I think this could be the works of a cheeky stockroom team. The overnight team may be having a little too much time on their hands and wanting to make a prank for the people that might look at the footage. In my 20s, I worked for Pottery Barn, so yeah, I might be speaking from a little bit of experience. Nevertheless, this video sparks more questions than answers. This video's caught the attention of many. We've got the supernatural explanation on one side, while the others are trying to debunk the mystery with science and logic. Let me know on which side you stand. A video making its rounds on Reddit showing a man casually walking his dog. It wasn't uploaded by the original videographer, but by a user who stumbled upon it and felt it was fascinating enough to share with the broader Reddit community. And this isn't just any video. The footage captures something unusual, an orb-like object hovering just above a field that has grabbed the attention of many who've seen it. The intrigue isn't just about the orb itself, but also its behavior. The object moves in strange, gyrating patterns, which gives the sighting an added layer of mystery. This has led numerous people to ponder, could this be some sort of evidence pointing to unexplained or possibly even extraterrestrial activity? On zooming in, the object can be seen in greater detail. It's perfectly round and seems to shimmer as though it's coated in some kind of reflective material. Now, while the first instinct for many might be to jump to the conclusion that this is evidence of something out of this world, it's crucial we don't get ahead of ourselves. Let's think about this for a moment. There could be other, more mundane explanations. For instance, could this orb be nothing more than a wayward balloon? Its strange movements could be caused by the shifting and unpredictable nature of the wind. That said, without additional details or a more in-depth analysis, it's tough to say anything for certain. In the end, while this video certainly sparks curiosity and invites a ton of theories, we don't have enough to make a definitive call on what this mysterious orb truly is, so we need your help. So here is another video, and I'm not really sure what's going on in. But if you've ever got that creepy feeling that you're being watched, well, that's exactly what happened to this woman. You can see she's in this small, unfinished room, and you're not going to believe what she sees. Take a look. Yeah, see those eyes staring back at her from the hole in the wall? I mean, she's freaked out, she calls for help, but even when she did, the eyes didn't disappear. I mean, they're still there when the others come to investigate. So, what is it? Some people think it could be an animal trapped in the wall, peeking out through the hole. And that's possible for sure. But let's be honest, it's pretty creepy. The woman who filmed this never gave an update, so the mystery continues, but what do you think? Paranormal encounter? Something more down to earth? I have to say that I'm leaning more towards an animal, especially because the eyes stayed there when the other people came. If it were a person trying to hide and heard that she had called for help, well, they most likely would have skedaddled. Alright, what do we have here? The uploader says that this is alien footage, but a lot of folks in the paranormal community aren't convinced. Check out this video that shows a blurry figure walking through the woods. I mean, to me, it definitely looks like it's an alien filmed by a guy with a very shaky camera, which isn't that hard to believe, actually. Now, I would also say that if real, this footage is pretty impressive. And another thing that lends a little more credibility is that the camera started shaking even more, which makes me think that the person filming got pretty close to whatever this is. What do you guys think? How did they get away without being seen, too? Alright. Calling all cab drivers, late night shift workers, Uber drivers. What is going on in this video? This was sent in by a viewer and it's sure to send shivers down your spine. So this cab driver working the late night shift picks up a woman. She's dressed in a purple dress. Everything seems normal. But then she vanishes. Check out the footage. Yes, you are correct. The woman has vanished without a trace. Now, the driver, he swears he didn't stop or let her out. He had not partaken in any of the devil's lettuce that night. He was perfectly sober. Now, the driver thinks it's a ghost. Well, actually, the driver thinks it's a ghost, but he also thinks it could be a glitch in the Matrix. Or at minimum, at least something paranormal. I don't know, pretty creepy, super interested in what you guys think on this one. Well, here we are again. Remember the Florida Airbnb shed video from last week? It was on TikTok, the one that everyone thought showed a time traveler. Well, we got an update. There's a new twist. The original video showed a young guy entering a shed on the Airbnb property and then vanishing. No sign of him ever coming out. The owner, who lives hours away, called the police, but they found nothing. Then a few days later, a completely different guy walks out of the shed. An older man. Now, if you haven't seen what I'm talking about, go back and watch the other video. But also, a homeowner saw a man enter a shed. He never left. Now, days later, an older man is walking out. This is where things get crazy. People online started digging and they found a deceased scientist named Stephen Miller, who looks just like the older guy. They did a reverse image search. Miller was obsessed with time travel. And guess what? He used to live near that very shed in Florida. That's right. But then, another twist. Some people think the whole thing might be a publicity stunt for a book by Stephen King. A book about a portal in a shed, no less. Things got even weirder when a YouTuber who initially believed the time travel theory suddenly did a complete 180 and said it was probably just a drug deal. Some folks, well, many folks, think he was pressured into changing his story. One of the commenters even said, "Blink twice if the government is making you do this." So, what's the real deal? Do we have a time traveler, a book promo, a drug deal, or something else entirely? Myself and the internet is going nuts trying to figure this out, and there are no clear answers yet. Talk about a creepy encounter. This motorcycle rider was cruising down a lonely mountain road in the Middle East when he saw something bizarre. Out of nowhere, a small figure darts across the road in front of him. Now, that might not be super weird on its own, except for one thing. This thing was walking on two legs. It gets even stranger. As he has his eyes locked on this thing, the creature then rears up on its hind legs and leaps clean over the guardrail onto the other side of the road. I mean, needless to say, the rider is totally freaked out. He checks his dash cam footage when he gets home, hoping to get a better look at what he saw. But the craziest part? The footage doesn't show very much. He can't believe it really didn't pick up much of the creature. So what do you think? Was the creature some type of mist-like ghost or something else entirely? I'd love to know your theories in the comments. Alright guys, check this out because this next video is seriously creepy. It looks like someone in a high-rise apartment filmed something unsettling in the ruins of an abandoned building across the street. Here's the thing that's going to give you the chills. There's a figure in that other building. It's kind of human-shaped, but all wrong at the same time. It's skinny and bony, almost like a skeleton, and its face, well, you can't really tell if it's blurred out or just doesn't have any recognizable human features. The way it moves is super creepy too. It kind of glides instead of walks, and it seems super unnatural. And an even weirder part is that the person filming is on a much higher floor in the opposite building. Yet we see as the creature seems to notice the camera. It sees itself being filmed and just moves away, disappearing out of sight. These kinds of strange encounters make you wonder, what if even just one of these sightings is real? You gotta say, it makes you think that maybe our world is a lot scarier than we ever thought. Alright, this is a pretty crazy story. Truck driver Ken McGill just had every driver's worst nightmare on the interstate in Markham, Illinois. You gotta see this dashcam footage. A woman in a long white dress casually walks across the highway, dodging cars and trucks, speeding by like she's completely invisible. It's enough to freak anyone out, and Ken is clearly shaken up about this. But hang tight, because it gets weirder. The very next night, at the exact same spot and time, there's a deadly accident. The driver and passengers all claim they swerved to avoid a mysterious woman in a white dress on the road, which caused the crash. Sound familiar? Alright, well let's triple down on the weirdness. Security cameras along the highway didn't pick up anyone walking there at that time. It's just a steady flow of traffic, no interruptions, no woman in a white dress, and then an accident. So, I ask you, did Ken McGill capture a ghost on his dashcam that might have caused a real-life accident? I mean, we don't have all the answers, but this is one chilling story that'll leave you scratching your head, and hopefully keeping your eyes peeled. Alright, let's take a little break from the creepy mysteries of the world and focus on something much cuter. A thieving, but not so stealthy mouse. So this little guy has been caught on camera trying to steal a metal cup that's practically as big as he is. I think we can all agree here that his burglary skills leave a lot to be desired. Every time he hops, the cup slams into the ground, making this loud clang. Well, since he's not being very quiet, what do you think this little thief is up to? Is he trying to drag this giant cup back to his cozy little mouse hole? Or maybe, more realistically, is there some leftover food hiding inside the cup that he's really after? Regardless, wherever he's going, he's not worried about sneaking up on someone. This spooky video involves a man named Manuel and his daughter Alexa from Carlsbad, California. One evening, they were outside their house when they saw something bizarre happening right on their street. A cat was just sitting in the middle of the road, which is obviously very dangerous. But here's the weird part. Whenever a car approached, the cat would seemingly vanish into thin air. Manuel and Alexa were understandably freaked out. Manuel grabbed his phone and recorded the strange occurrence. Even now, they can't explain what they saw. They're jokingly calling it the ghost cat. Alright, so what the heck is going on here? That definitely looks like a cat in the middle of the road. Is there some optical illusion I might be missing? Like some depth thing from the street? Maybe it's on the sidewalk, it's not that close? I don't know. Someone smarter than me, tell me in the comments what you think this might be. I guess it could just be a shape or a shadow that looks like a cat that's not actually a cat. I don't know, this one's pretty baffling. Real-life raw nature battles are always full of amazing face-offs. But this clip will have you on the edge of your seat. The video shows a tense encounter between a black bear and a tiger on a little path. It all starts with the bear standing on its hind legs, which is a clear warning sign to the tiger. Basically, it's the bear showing its size and saying, "Alright, back off." After a while, the bear lowers itself back down on all fours. But the tiger, he's just taking it in, watching the whole thing go down. He's not worried. Once the bear is on all fours again, the tiger finally decides to get up and walk towards it. At first, the bear doesn't even notice the approaching tiger. Finally, he realizes what's going on and takes off running up the hill. Of course, the tiger's right behind it. The video ends without showing us a fight, unfortunately, but it's a fascinating glimpse into how animals react to threats. In this case, both the bear and the tiger knew a fight could lead to injuries, so they decided to avoid it. This is a good reminder that sometimes the smartest thing to do is just walk away. Very tough to do. This next video is some seriously strange stuff. Lisa Nathan from Essex, England was letting her dog out early one morning, right before sunrise, when something totally freaked her out. Security footage shows Lisa opening the back door, then darting back inside in a hurry. Take a close look. You can see a weird pale thing flying around near her before she swats at it. After checking the footage, Lisa is pretty convinced she might have caught a fairy on camera. I'm not going to claim that I've seen a fairy, but it definitely looks weird, but it definitely looks odd, and nobody seems to know for sure. So what do you think? Have you ever seen anything like this? Let us know your theories in the comments. Alright, how about this one? Have you seen this creepy video circulating on Reddit? It's CCTV footage from a seemingly ordinary living room and kitchen. Everything looks normal until a hallway door mysteriously swings open by itself. Now, it is definitely weird watching this door swing open. But here's what the online sleuths have found. It's a theory, but some viewers notice the door handle seems to move just before the door, like an invisible hand is pushing it. Some say it's a dog, but we don't see any of our furry friends in the whole video. Other viewers actually spotted a mouse near the sink, followed by a weird squeak. Let me just pause right there for a little interjection. Online viewers, you guys don't miss anything. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Anyhow, what's the explanation? Ghost? Maybe. But if I may, here's a skeptic's take. I'm thinking the sound of the handle could be someone inside the room jiggling it before opening the door. I've had to sneak out of my kids' rooms plenty of times while they're sleeping. The door handles make a noise. Now look, if the door opened away from the camera and we could see inside of it, I still think we'd see a person sitting there, trying to catch their 5 minutes of fame. Calling all Bigfoot believers, listen up. Apparently folks in Pennsylvania had been hearing weird noises coming from the woods for weeks. One night a resident couldn't take it anymore and he decided to investigate with a video camera. Now, at first glance, this footage could just be someone in a Yeti or monkey costume. But there's always that worry. Now here's the twist. When you slow it down frame by frame, it looks like the creature actually blinks when the flashlight hits its eyes. And obviously if this was a mask, it wouldn't be able to blink. Now good old Thinker Thunker got a hold of the video, analyzed the footage even closer, and believes they saw the creature's mouth move too, like it was reacting to being spotted. So what do you guys think? Does this Bigfoot look legit, or is it just a guy in a really good costume? This next story is about a spooky photo taken at the Lemp Mansion in St. Louis, which is known for being haunted. A subcontracted carpenter working there snapped a picture of this dog, but when he looked closer later, there was something else in the shot. Something he didn't bring? Something other than his dog? As you can see, a strange mist appears to be hovering over the dog, and it kind of looks like a figure with outstretched arms reaching for it. At first, you might explain it away by saying it's just smoke, but smoking isn't allowed inside the mansion, so that's very unlikely, especially by someone who's hired to work there. And you already know that it gets weirder. The Lemp Mansion has a long and tragic history. It used to be a beautiful home for a wealthy family, but over time it became office space, then a rundown boarding house. Thankfully, it's been restored and is now a fancy restaurant and bed and breakfast. The place is beautiful, but it comes with some baggage. Several, well, more than several, members of the Lemp family died by suicide inside that mansion. So some people believe the mist in the photo is one of their ghosts. Just a weird camera trick? Or a ghost that doesn't want to leave? There's a strange story circulating about a curious incident at an AT&T store in Midtown Manhattan. A manager, Lewis, says he was working at his desk when he noticed a remote control start moving on its own. And yes, security footage captured the entire thing. Lewis says he was surrounded by people at the time, so this wasn't a prank. And it was on a busy day, he was doing stuff, there were people all around, there was no time for joking. He says it looked like the remote control was being spun around like someone was playing a game. I mean, the video's out there, but it doesn't seem that anyone has any answers. If you find out or have a theory, drop it in the comments, let me know. Is this a prankster? Or is there something weird going on at AT&T besides spotty cell service in the sticks where I live? YouTuber Connor from Exploring Undercover just stopped me in my tracks with his latest camping trip video. Connor and his buddy David were deep in the Scottish wilderness setting up camp near some ancient, abandoned stone cottages. They were filming their whole adventure, of course. After a day of fishing as the sun dipped below the horizon, they were lighting their campfire when things got creepy. So first off, the video captured a voice whispering, "Oh my God." But that's not all. Two white figures can be seen walking inside one of the deserted cottages on the hill behind them. And if you look closely, one figure seems adult-sized, but the other is small, like a child. Now here's the kicker. Connor and David swear they didn't see or hear any of this while they were filming. And remember, these cottages are completely abandoned, they know that, and they're not expecting anyone to be around. So who are those figures? Ghosts? Lost hikers? Something more sinister? What's going on here? Or maybe not, maybe just something else entirely, something completely innocent. Check it out, let me know in the comments, and if you want to see the full video with footage from the abandoned cottages, head over to Connor's YouTube channel, Exploring Undercover. A photo taken in an undisclosed location in the US shows a strange shape floating in the dark. It looks like the upper part of a person's body and head, but the lower half disappears like mist. It appeared then disappeared after a few seconds, and it has since made the property owner feel very uneasy when walking in that area. This particular photo has sparked a debate among believers and skeptics about whether it is proof of the supernatural. Stories about ghosts and shadowy figures have been told for centuries, and some people think they are real while others don't. Photos like this exact type of mystery and intrigue of the unknown, attract many to investigate the paranormal. Even though we may not be able to explain the figure in the photo, it reminds me that there are still unexplained things in this world that fascinate us. A surreal scene here as we see a flock of birds hovering over this house before dive bombing the home through the chimney. Located in California, 1,500 plus birds flew into a man's house who said that this was the most unimaginable thing he's ever been a part of. He had no idea what was happening. The noise, the waste they left behind, just sheer chaos. All in all, it took 3 entire days to remove all of the birds manually. In this last little clip, you can see he was able to use a fireplace screen to block, he estimates, another 1,000 birds from entering the home. Good, quick thinking, but what an absolute disaster. Man, I'd love to know why they did that. This next recording took place at Clingman's Dome, the highest peak in Tennessee's Smoky Mountains. According to the narrator, while strolling along a path, they noticed a group of individuals gazing up at the trees. They appeared to have spotted what resembled a bear, but this bear was standing upright on two legs and never dropped down to all fours. Due to the creature's size, many were convinced that it was a genuine Bigfoot sighting. The video doesn't give definitive evidence to what the creature could be, but if you listen to the audio, you hear a few of them say, "That's a Bigfoot." I will say I'm a little surprised at how calm they all are. And if it was just a bear, I feel like that many people wouldn't be stopped on the side of a trail just watching. And then again, if it is a bear, they might be a little too close. He could close that short distance in no time. Maybe they're planning on playing a little game of, I don't have to be the fastest, I just have to be faster than the slowest. Anyhow, great capture, and this definitely seems to be one of the more credible videos that I've seen. Let me know your thoughts. This is an incredible video here. A man says an alligator, which he had never seen before, made its way through a courtyard, but got stopped. Very briefly stopped by this black metal fence. Just look at this. Look at the power. I don't even really know what to say. Let's watch it again. The man helps him out the rest of the way. Do we have any viewers in here that live near alligators? And if so, have you ever seen anything like this? Animal Wiki uploaded a peculiar TikTok video allegedly filmed in a rural mountain range in Japan. In the clip, a small dragon-like creature can be seen swimming in a stream. While some viewers dismiss it as a hoax, it looks rather real, and it's fascinating how dragons are embedded in the mythology of various cultures worldwide. Dragons have been believed in some shape or form by civilizations across the globe for thousands of years. In Europe, dragons were known for their massive size and fire-breathing abilities, while in ancient China, they were revered for their control over the weather and supposedly guarded heaven and earth against outside forces. Perhaps there is some truth to these legends. Ultimately, I'll let you decide. One of the most surprising sightings that you could capture on a trail camera was possibly captured by this one. Instead of the usual animals or nocturnal creatures, a decent amount of fully armed soldiers carrying automatic rifles were spotted walking through the forest, and this trail camera caught it. This seems pretty suspicious to me. Maybe they're sneaking up through the woods to surprise a drug operation. Another commenter mentioned that they were there for training. Seems a little too close for comfort, seeing as this man has a trail camera on what I'm assuming is his property. Anyhow, thank goodness it was daylight. Otherwise, it really would have been a startling scene. This clip right here is just a cool capture. A horse grazing his field when a wild boar shows up. The boar is kind of sniffing around, but he seems like he wants to mix it up a little bit. The horse tries to defuse the situation by walking away, but the boar wants the action. As the pig gets a running start, he lunges for the horse's tail, and she bucks her back legs and hooves, catching the boar with a body shot, and he takes off. Probably a little out of breath, but he should be lucky he didn't catch one of those kicks to the head. Countless individuals across the globe enjoy taking walks in their nearby forests, not only for the physical activity, but also for the unpredictability of what they may encounter during different seasons. One such man, James Rankin, is a resident of Long Island who likes to go on hikes. However, his usual routine was disrupted in October of 2016 when he stumbled upon a clearing in Berkeley-Jackson County Park, located in Huntington, New York. To his surprise, he noticed over a dozen missing person posters attached to the surrounding trees, all of which were real cases from the New York area and recently printed and laminated for protection. The majority of these posters were of women, with a few men as well. To add to the eerie scene, there appeared to be a shrine made of carefully placed twigs at the center of the clearing. James, fearing that he might have uncovered a serial killer's hideout or something even worse, he notified the local police department. It was then, and only then, that he learned the truth behind what he had seen. The posters in the clearing were part of preparations for an upcoming Halloween party. What? And after a few weeks, everything was taken down and removed. Despite knowing the reality, Rankin still has found it challenging to continue his walks with the same sense of adventure. He's slightly anxious about what he may encounter around each corner. Yeah, I don't blame you, James. This is pretty creepy. I mean, that is strange. I like parties as much as the next guy, but I don't want anything to do with that Halloween party. I mean, whoever thought of that has some issues. Anyhow, let me know in the comments, are you going to this party or are you going to sit this one out? In June of 2021, TikTok user Claxatax uploaded the following piece of footage, and it's been freaking viewers out ever since. Check this out. From what is visible, there appears to be a large, two-legged being moving at a leisurely pace across the property of the man in the video. As you can see, the video also shows their pet dog intently observing the figure from afar. No one has been able to provide an explanation for the sighting, leaving those who watched it wondering whether the entity was an intruder or something of a more mystical nature. A few days later, Claxatax posted another video updating regarding the sighting. He has no idea what this could have been. Some commenters said a ghost, a wendigo, or the most popular comment was that it was a skinwalker. Let me know your theories. All I know is that it's pretty creepy. The man seems to be tucked back there pretty nicely in a desolate piece of property. On March 23, 2023, a video clip was uploaded to TikTok by a user named Moto Owens. Moto is known for sharing videos of himself riding his dirt bike through wooded trails. Despite frequently riding through this area, he had never come across anything unusual until that day. As he was traveling along the path, he rode up on some scattered bones, which was pretty unsettling. He didn't stop to look, but it's unclear whether the bones are from an animal or a human. Despite the bones, Owens continued along the trail until he encountered a fallen tree that was blocking his path. He got off his bike to move the tree, and at that moment, something pretty terrifying occurred. The voice sounds like it could be from a person, but it's not quite high enough to hear. You might need to slow it down a little bit or turn your speakers up really loud. Moto doesn't stick around to find out. Commenters on the TikTok thought it could be a mountain lion or even a skinwalker shape-shifting and trying to lure him into the woods. Yeah, I think it's a good idea that he left. Let me know what you all think this could have been. A cool sight here as we see a bird of prey trying to dive bomb and snatch up a kangaroo, which when I say it out loud seems pretty weird. Experts suggest that the birds may perceive the prey below to be much smaller than it really is when they are in flight above. Some of them make contact with the large prey before realizing it is much, much bigger than they were expecting. The kangaroo wasn't harmed. Rest assured, he can surely defend himself from these birds. I wasn't sure if this first attack was a one-off, but then I found this video. Watch as this trail camera picks up the moment a bird of prey swooped in after this kangaroo. initiating contact, and a little scuffle ensues. The kangaroo is able to break free, and I'm sure the bird realized that this wasn't worth the hassle. Anyhow, this is definitely new to me. I hadn't seen any of these yet. This footage here captures a moose staring directly into a trail camera. However, the frightening aspect of this video is what appears in the background, behind the trees. A set of glowing eyes is visible, appearing to stalk the moose. These eyes move from one side of the screen to the other, at the height of a person. By the end of the clip, the moose appears to have noticed this presence. But the question remains, what is this? Is there really something stalking this moose? Could it be a wolf? Maybe a mountain lion? Or something even more unusual? This trail camera watching this mother falcon in her nest captures the moment a sneaky martin gets to the nest and robs it of its eggs. One by one, this sneaky little devil pulls them out of there. Perhaps the more fascinating part of the video is that it appears the martin arrives almost immediately after the falcon leaves. Now, I looked to see if the video was edited there, like maybe he didn't show up that quickly, but I can't tell. If it's not, that martin is incredibly stealthy, and it would mean that he was practically hiding directly under the branch or whatever structure this nest was on, undetected. Nature is cruel and incredible. A predator combat drone is executing its standard surveillance, when abruptly, an enormous and swift object invades its territory. What seems to be an unidentified flying object zips past the drone, leaving a massive trail of bright white light in its wake. The drone spins around to scan the region, but whatever rocketed past has since vanished without a trace. Regrettably, no additional footage was obtained. The scarcity of information connected to this video leaves me uncertain whether it's fabricated or if the military is simply remaining tight-lipped. It's possible that the unidentified flying object is a product of CGI, but discounting that theory, what you're viewing could potentially be our inaugural interaction with highly technologically advanced extraterrestrials. If this were indeed an extraterrestrial encounter, it would certainly change our understanding of the universe and our place in it. We would have to consider the potential implications of contact with a civilization far more technologically advanced than our own. The nature of the object and its swift glowing passage remain a mystery, enticing us to delve deeper into the uncharted territories of our universe. This trail camera snagged a rare sight, a spirit moose sauntering nonchalantly in the forest. Spirit moose, also known as white or albino moose, are not albinos but rather a variant with white fur, a result of a rare genetic mutation called leucism. This condition, unlike albinism, does not affect the animal's eye color, which is why many spirit moose have normal colored eyes. They're extremely rare, spotted sporadically across North America and Scandinavia, particularly in Sweden. Due to their unique appearance, they've garnered spiritual significance among indigenous cultures, with some considering it a bad omen to harm one. This magnificent creature, seemingly without a worry, casually strolls through the woods, a testament to its rarity and beauty. Thanks to the trail camera, we've captured this exceptional moment, providing a rare glimpse into the life of these unique animals. The video begins with two guys documenting a mountain lion that has stalked them from behind during what was initially supposed to be a quick bow hunting trip. The mountain lion is tough to spot as it blends remarkably well with the landscape while maintaining an impressive level of stealth. They persist in filming the beast while simultaneously maintaining eye contact to prevent activating its ambush instincts for unguarded prey. You're being hunted. The entire incident is filled with intense tension and suspense due to the unpredictable behavior of the wild creature and its superior physical abilities. Fortunately, the footage concludes with the mountain lion vanishing into the thick, towering undergrowth. Let me know in the comments if you all are staying this calm. This video kicks off with a team of hunters, accompanied by their dogs, set on a mission to track down a wild boar hidden deep within a thick forest in Scandinavia. Just moments after dispatching their dogs to sniff out the hog, a frenzied barking erupts from the hounds, indicating they've located the beast. One of the men has a brief window of opportunity to take a shot. However, the ensuing events are far from what they had expected. Miraculously, despite the unexpected turn of events, no one incurs any severe injuries, and the hunting expedition ends successfully. Our upcoming clip features a man filming a gigantic boar bursting from the woodland and making a beeline towards him in his vehicle. Despite the hefty build of a wild boar, these creatures can demonstrate remarkable swiftness, clocking in at around 25 miles per hour. Subsequent scenes reveal the man's hunting dog also emerging from the woods and courageously embarking on the pursuit of the boar. Moments later, however, both the hound and the boar regrettably vanish back into the forested area, marking the end of the recording. This outdoor camera caught a small altercation between a cat and a raccoon. Cats, like many animals, have territorial instincts. This is particularly true for outdoor cats who've claimed an area, such as a yard, as their own. They will often engage in behaviors to mark their territory, like urine spraying or scratching, to deter other animals from encroaching on their space. When a raccoon or any other animal invades this marked territory, a cat may become defensive and protective, viewing the intruder as a threat to their space, resources, and safety. Raccoons, on the other hand, are generally nomadic creatures. While they do have home ranges that they frequent, their territories are not as rigidly defined or protected as those of a cat. Additionally, raccoons are opportunistic foragers, meaning they're likely to invade yards not for territorial gain, but in search of food or potential nesting sites. So if a cat and a raccoon cross paths in a yard, there's potential for conflict. The cat may perceive the raccoon as a threat to its claimed territory and may attempt to defend this territory aggressively, while the raccoon, primarily focused on foraging, may retaliate if it feels threatened. Well, it was easy to tell who had the upper hand in this altercation. This intriguing clip, posted on June 24th, 2023, reveals a seldom seen event: a skirmish between two foxes for social supremacy. This rarely observed occurrence, due to the distinctive behaviors of these animals, was unexpectedly captured by a trail camera. The encounter began peacefully, but popped off when one fox leaped from a rock, triggering a power struggle. Though it only lasted a few minutes, the video ends without revealing the outcome, leaving the winner and loser a mystery, but nonetheless very cool to see. The YouTube Video Fight Club, posted in May 2023, takes viewers into a forest where a flock of turkeys unexpectedly erupt into a brawl. Initially, the turkeys seem peaceful, wandering and foraging, but the calm quickly descends into chaos, offering a glimpse of the unpredictable nature of wildlife. In an unexpected turn of events, the scene of tranquility transforms into a feathery frenzy. The air, once filled with the peaceful sounds of the forest, now resonates with the ruffled squawks and fluttering of wings. Each turkey becomes an adversary, lunging and pecking at its fellows. The cause of the fight remains unknown, adding an extra layer of intrigue to this already compelling spectacle. Could it be a struggle for dominance, a sudden scare, or just a sporadic display of aggression? The mystery fuels speculation, making the video all the more captivating for its viewers. Also, the event marked a memorable moment for the video's owner, who regards it as one of the most exciting scenes their trail camera has ever captured. This unexpected wildlife drama not only provided an intimate view into the rarely seen behavior of turkeys, but also served as a stark reminder of the astonishing surprises that the natural world can offer. This is just a really cute video of a cat frustratingly trying to catch a fish in a backyard pond that is frozen over. The cat is definitely confused on why he can't grab this fish. This trail camera footage is pretty wild, isn't it? Notice how the creature seems to lock eyes with the camera, its gaze strangely human-like. It's as if it was aware of being observed and wanted to acknowledge its watcher. But let's speculate for a moment. Is this a gorilla we're seeing? Or could we be facing a cryptid, perhaps a Bigfoot? When you scrutinize the image more closely, you might see that it's moving bipedally unlike a gorilla, which would typically use its knuckles for movement. I don't know about you, but if that was my trail camera capturing these images, I'd either keep a close eye on my surroundings or avoid that area of the woods entirely.
A couple in Russia were driving through a wooded area late at night, completely unprepared for what was about to happen. As they made their way down the road, a tree suddenly crashed to the ground right in front of them, forcing them to drive through it. Thankfully, there was no serious damage, and no one was injured, but the driver was understandably shaken by the sudden event. While it seems like this was merely a random branch falling, some viewers have suggested something more mysterious. A few people commented that it could have been a Sasquatch or a Yeti that threw the tree. They pointed out that even though the road was dark, it didn't seem to be lined with trees. I'm not sure what to make of it. Personally, I think the tree just fell, as the way it came straight down doesn't look like it was thrown by someone or something. Nevertheless, it's an incident that was undoubtedly terrifying for those involved, and it leaves room for speculation and imagination.
It was Verdi, he was a composer.
Have you had a chance to check out this unsettling footage? It's a clip from a travel show presented by James May, and what the cameras have captured is truly intriguing.
What is that? Because these woods are very much like the ones near where I live in South Wiltshire. It's got the same gradient, it's got the same...
At first, some viewers dismissed it as a mere editing error or a glitch in the video. However, many others believe that this could actually be a real ghost caught on film.
What is that?
To my eyes, it appears to resemble an old soldier, possibly wearing a traditional long cloak. But I'll leave it up to you to decide. What do you think it could be? Let me know in the comments along with whether or not you believe in ghosts.
What is that?
The footage of the so-called Fresno, California Nightcrawler might be among the oddest videos supposedly depicting an alien being that you'll ever encounter. At first glance, you might find the footage laughable. The appearance of these alleged creatures in the video can make anyone skeptical. In fact, when I first watched it, I remember thinking, it looks like a pair of pants running off. But for those who specialize in debunking videos, this one proved more challenging to dismiss than anticipated. A sci-fi TV series called Factor or Faith made attempts to debunk the Fresno Nightcrawler footage. However, no matter what methods they employed, they were unable to replicate the creatures captured in the video. Ultimately, they labeled the footage as inexplicable. A year after the episode aired, another similar video surfaced. This time, the supposed alien was captured in Yosemite National Park, a location 60 miles away from the original sighting. Moreover, images began to emerge online, displaying peculiar wood carvings. People claim that these carvings were ancient American Indian statues representing the creatures, but these reports remain unverified. So, are these bizarre beings genuine extraterrestrial creatures? Or is it merely a clever hoax using pants as a puppet? I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on this curious matter.